This is Harry Edwards speaking. I have been asked to record my philosophy of life, but I find it difficult to portray a true picture, for one is so rarely aware of one's shortcomings. The egotism that is natural to most people is the virtue one is more conscious of in the effort to justify a way of living. Perhaps such a philosophy can be judged more by the motives that have inspired one at various times, for it may be rightly said that motives are the urges that determine a personal philosophy. I have had an inner impulse to fight against social evils and to work for peace and the brotherhood of man. This desire has been with me throughout my life, and in a political sense culminated in contesting several London County Council elections and 3 parliamentary general elections, without success, but that did not matter. With the passing of the years, a more spiritual philosophy replaced the sectional interests. I found the implications that arise from the truth of survival as a more worthy method of seeking redress from the evil things in life. Whatever difficulties I've had to face, and they have been many, I have said to myself, this too will pass. And while I would make every effort to overcome them, I would not allow them to get me down, nor would I let them burden my mind continuously. I believe that whatever vicissitudes one is called upon to face, they will pass. The period of time that adversity is lived through may be unpleasant, but it will end. Life is a collection of pleasant and unpleasant experiences. Without one, you cannot have the other. We should gain profitable experience from both. Life, as I see it, is a constant striving to attain an ideal or to improve on our way of life. I am, at times, discontented, as any other live person must be. If we were not discontented, life would be deadly dull. It is the striving to fulfill one's purpose in life that calls for effort, and with this will come both joy and disappointment. As the years go on, one's philosophy of life is tempered by mediation and experience. Those smaller ambitions that seemed so important a while ago become merged into the general scheme of life. In summing up, I would say that my purely personal concerns, even the probable duration of my earthly life, are not so important. What grows stronger with each day is the desire to work for the fulfillment of the ultimate purpose to which my life is now inescapably wedded, and that is not only to heal the sick, but to play as strong a part as I can to bring about the spiritualization of man through the evidence that spiritual healing provides, that man is a spiritual being now, possessing a spirit, body, and soul. And lastly, to see that this endeavor will be continued through my successors, Ray and Joan Branch, and indeed in my next phase of life to help them to do so. Spiritual healing is God's gift to all his children, irrespective of a race or religion. It can never become the possession of any section or creed. In our churches and sanctuaries, numberless people have been freed from the evils of disease. Those who would have died have lived to fulfill their full purpose in life. Happinesses have been restored to family life. While it is of great personal importance to a sufferer to be cleansed from pain and disease, the act of healing has a far greater significance than the healing itself. This significance lies in the fact that no spiritual healing can take place if we are not spirit beings ourselves. The proof of this lies in the simple fact that in order to receive, we must be in harmony with the transmitter. There must be a faculty within us that enables attunement to be established between the source of spiritual healing and ourselves. This applies to the patient, but it is more clear when we consider the healer. In order to be used as an instrument or channel for healing to be given, the healer must necessarily be the link between the patient and the spirit source of healing. This source must be within the spirit realm, as is proven by the logical conclusion that every healing must be a planned act, intelligently directed. With the healing of the incurable, an intelligence superior to human wisdom enters into the picture, who knows the way and the means whereby to remove the cause of the disease and its symptoms. We know that, in essence, all healing is divine and comes from God. But when He has work to be done, He directs His ministers in spirit to do it, and they have to work within the scope of both the physical and spirit laws. The healing power is not all-powerful. It is not omnipotent. Otherwise, there might be no finality to this life at all. But within the framework of the total laws, much can be done. Nearly all diseases arise from states of mental disharmony or inner self-frustrations. At times, we may not be even conscious of what these are. I have known cases of trouble arise from over-sensitivity and compassion for others, or concern for a worthy cause. These good people feel so acutely the distress of their fellows that it dwells deeply within them and can easily create forms of tension, thus originating the trouble. The common cause of sickness lies in emotional disturbance and frustration. It may be the prevention of some inner desire. It may be of a more sordid kind, such as hate, fear, and selfishness, or, on the other hand, of over-responsibilities. It is the man who has to carry great responsibility who is likely to develop gastric ulcers. It is the woman who has to contend with domestic cares and troubles who becomes prone to nervous diseases. The causations lie deep within the inner or spirit self. No medical treatment can heal them. They can only be removed by calming and good correcting influences, soothing the tensions on the same plane that they exist, namely the spirit plane. It may well be that when we do not see a patient respond as quickly as we would wish, the reason is that the disturbance of the inner self is so well established that it takes a little time to remove it. Conversely, the reason why we so often see the so-called incurable made well is that the disharmonies have yielded to the corrective influences, and with this the physical symptoms are overcome. Thus, every act of spiritual healing demonstrates the truth that we each possess a soul that is in tune with the infinite. This is the real purpose behind our healing work. Orthodox religions sometimes draw a distinction between our healing and the healing they would like to do. They say we are out to heal bodies, while they look for the healing of the total self, body and soul. But that is exactly what we do. We could not be the means of healing one without the other. The healing of the soul is not changing a person's outlook so they become a member of any particular church, but in effecting changes within for good purposes. For example, when we see following our healing a person becoming kinder and more considerate to the family and others, we are witnessing the healing of the soul. True spiritual qualities are not necessarily being churchy or devoutly good, but in living rightly, following a code of values in which right living with oneself is the proof of goodness. Thus, spiritual healing is but a means of showing mankind the way of salvation. It will come through the realization that man must be a spiritual being in order to receive from the spirit realm. So when we rejoice in seeing a sufferer ease from his pains, when we see a joint freed from arthritis, a growth dispersed, migraine taken away, sight strengthened, and so on, let us look to what lies behind the healing act. That none of these things would be possible were it not that God's healing ministers in the realm of spirit are able to extend their loving arms towards us, and we, on our part, would not be able to receive their help were we not akin. Spiritual healing is but a means of showing that we are part spirit, functioning now, that a spirit heritage awaits us all, and as mankind begins to prepare for this by right living humanly in brotherhood, doing harm to no one, helping those who are in need, protecting the animal from cruelty and exploitation, so surely shall we see the ignoble ways of modern life change to a higher concept of the true values, and so we may all live together as God intended us to do. This is the real purpose behind a spiritual healing to which we are all committed. May all blessings be with you.